We all have rough days, you know the kind I mean, where you can't get yourself to even start a simple task. You just lie there scrolling on your phone first thing in the morning, eating whatever is easy and thinking, what is wrong with me? And you've quietly decided that you're just lazy and you've decided, okay, I don't want to do anything today. I'm going to try and avoid people and do as little as possible. You're really not lazy. If pushing harder and pushing past that feeling has never really fixed this, then that's your first clue that it was never really about you not being disciplined enough. The collapse is a bill that's been coming due for a long, long time, and I'm going to show you how you ran up the debt in the first place and how to clear it. But before I explain any of that stuff, I want you to make the first repayment right now. It takes just 10 seconds. I want you to do it wherever you are, sitting, standing. Make sure you're not driving. But essentially what you're going to do is inhale for a count of 4 and exhale for a count of 8. That's it. Let's try it together. Exhale completely to prepare. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. And then exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That's it. In through the nose, out through the nose. Really, really simple breath. It's just about elongating the exhale to make it almost twice as long as the inhale. And in Ashtanga, this creates this cooling, calming, slowing down effect. And that quiet, long exhale is essentially like a brake to a car that's been going really, really fast. And the nervous system, which has been running so fast for so long, it's almost forgotten that it has a brake. And using the breath, using this slow exhale, we can actually slow down the system. And there's an older word for what we've been doing. It's called Pranayama. And most people translate it as like breath control or breathwork exercises. But it has a truer meaning, which is that prana, which is essentially your life force energy, is the thing that we extend or we regulate. And ayama means to extend, to make longer, so to speak. And if you're new here, I'm Sushmita, but you can call me Sushi. I've been doing this for the last 10 years. I have this YouTube channel just so that I can actually get this message out that women who feel like they've been doing so much for others, they end up feeling like just burnt out internally, and they think that it's their fault. They think that if they had some more time for their self-care or to do other things, they wouldn't feel this way. But I just want to tell you, it's not your fault. We give so much as women, and it's definitely not because you're self-sabotaging in some way. You always, always climb back up because your kids need you, because your job needs you, because your life needs you. That is proof. That is proof that you're not lazy, you're not undisciplined, you're not broken. All that's happening is that you're depleted. You're genuinely, truly just exhausted because your body has simply stopped giving you a choice. You've reached that point where the crash is not something that you have to see as the enemy. It's almost like a little course correction for you to see what's been going on in my life and how can I fix it. And you've probably felt the whole cycle. I see this in women I work with every day. It's this stretch where you're completely on it. You're on top of your game, you're having your vitamins, you're going for your walks, you're waking up early, you're doing all of the things. And then suddenly, it's not like you decided to do this. You fall off the edge a little bit. Maybe you go on a vacation, maybe the kids have holidays and you're just doing one thing after the other, and before you know it, you can't actually calculate what happened, and you stop being the capable one that's handling everything, and you just feel depleted. And I hear this all the time from the women I speak to. It's that these two people, the capable, strong, independent, fully functional one, seems like the flip side of the person that's like just running on fumes, empty, and it feels like we're dealing with two different women. Think of it like this. You're carrying two reserves. There's a daily reserve. This is the thing that fills back every night. When you sleep, you wake up, you have more energy. And then there's a deeper one that lies underneath it that refills very, very slowly. It takes days, it takes weeks, and sometimes even months for you to come back to a state of feeling full and joyous. It's kind of like, there's a well that just dries up over summer, and then when it's rainy season again, it starts to fill up. And every single day, if you stay within your daily range, you spend a little, you sleep, you refill, and you're fine. When you push past what your daily limit for doing things is, you don't make energy out of nowhere, right? You have to somehow borrow it from the future. It's like if you don't have money, you borrow money from a bank. So you borrow it from the day after, you borrow it from the day after that, you borrow it from the day after that, and you're spending money that you have not earned yet. It's kind of like you have a credit card and you keep swiping the credit card to buy new shoes. And you know this kind of evening where you've worked literally all day long, you've eaten and you tell yourself, okay, one last thing, I'm going to finish this up and then I'm going to go to bed. You open up your laptop and within minutes you notice, oh, I just can't focus, I feel foggy. And you do one small thing, you reach for your phone, you pull yourself back, then you reach for your phone again. It's just this like days of this low hum of resistance that keeps coming up. It's not a weakness. It's not because you don't have enough willpower or discipline to just get the things done. It's your body standing at the counter of the bank and being like, are you sure you want to borrow from tomorrow? Are you sure you can repay me? Are you sure you can actually take this on? And the bank, the guy that's sitting there, always charges interest. So it's like this. If you're just borrowing now and again, it's fine, it's cheap, you have plenty in the tank because you've been doing your yoga, you push for one evening, you sleep it off, you wake up and you're fine. Literally every mother, every woman who's building a business or like starting her own brand obviously has to borrow sometimes. You cannot make anything that matters by staying perfectly comfortable, and I know that. But you borrow night after night and it becomes a habit, and every single time you do that and you never pay back, you never give yourself the rest you need, the interest begins to compound. And each time you push, it costs you more than the last time that you borrowed from the bank. It's almost like you're living on credit and the rate is climbing. And then there's one morning where you just notice, I can't even get up out of bed. The bank says, no, you're not a reliable person. You keep taking from the bank and you're not returning. And so no amount of willpower can actually buy you another hour of pushing. And that is not morning laziness. That is not like, you're just trying to escape your work. That's the debt being called back all at once. And that, in short words, is burnout. A lot of us experience it. We don't know if it's really burnout, whether we can call it burnout yet, but definitely it's a version of the burnout, and all of us are on a spectrum and we all experience it at some point in our lives just because of the world we live in today. Okay, so I don't mean to scare you with all this doom and gloom talk. You're not doomed. It's actually cool because our bodies are genuinely kind to us. Rest actually pays back more than the effort it takes out. So even if you sleep for like 8 hours or 9 hours, you feel better almost instantly the next day. A small, honest amount of real rest almost restores you far more than the time it costs you. It's almost like charging a phone, right? Even if you put your phone on 30 minutes for charge, it's not like you can only use it for 30 minutes. You can use it for like a couple of hours. And so even if you worked hard for 2-3 weeks and you end up resting properly for a few days, you can return to yourself and you can return to your normal functioning self. And you're not just like trapped in the swing of doing things all the time. Of course, the crash will always come, but you can shorten that crash dramatically by paying the debt as soon as you notice, oh, the debt is piling up. And instead of like letting it accumulate, instead of waiting for some vacation or waiting for a turn of events so that you can actually rest, so then you're like, okay, the bank wants to collect the whole bill at once, you start paying it off every single day. And this is why having a daily practice is so important, because it's one way of paying off that debt. But the catch is, and I'm sure you felt this one too, it's that real rest takes discipline. It's not easy to rest. We collapse into scrolling, into working, into people pleasing, into meeting people, into doing things and filling up our calendars so much that it's almost like it takes discipline to rest. And I know that sounds really funny, but real true rest, the kind that reaches that deep well that I talked about, that's like dried up in summer, that rest has to be chosen. You have to choose it. And it has to be like something that you consciously do every single day and, every week, so you pay off that debt. It's boring, but it's the restorative thing that actually brings you back to your bright and shiny self. It's better than just burning through with more discipline, because you're then restoring your reserves and it will last you for longer. And this is the real reason why I teach Ashtanga. It's actually because the Ashtanga has nothing to do with like doing fancy poses or like touching your toes or anything like that. It's like the rest is inbuilt into the structure. when you're in a Mysore room and you're literally just with yourself, even without a Mysore room, if you just practice on your own, the time that it takes to go into closing, to do your postures slowly, it's like it's you and your thoughts. You're giving a rest to that thinking, doing, functioning part of you, and you're almost committing yourself to 60 to 90 minutes on the mat where you give yourself this kind of active rest. It's not like some reward that you get because you've done everything else. You have to give yourself a yoga practice as almost like the foundation. It's ground zero. Even if you're tempted to skip postures, even if you're tempted to like switch things around, because you move through the same shapes in the same order every single day, it's almost like your nervous system always knows what's coming next. And people tell me, Sush, like even though Ashtanga has been boring and repetitive, the one gift it's given me is that the repetition itself is the medicine. And to a system that's been braced for weeks, you need to give it constancy. You need to give it the sense where it can land in the body. And by slowing down the breath, the same breath we did in the start of this video, you actually do that for 60 to 90 minutes, you'll notice a huge difference. You'll notice yourself actually being able to land in your body. And this is why willpower alone is never going to save you. And this is why you've been trying to kind of get that energy back, but you can't get it back because you need to repay every single day. And an Ashtanga practice, a daily yoga practice, is one of those ways to repay every day because you're constantly draining from the bank. You're constantly spending tap, tap, tap all day long. Ask anyone who's been practicing for over 2 years and they'll tell you the practice is like a system. It's the thing that's still left standing even when your motivation is gone. And it's the thing that holds you even when life goes through ups and downs. And it doesn't have to be long. You don't even have to spend 60 minutes. And so you're not trying to be like 10 out of 10 in all areas of your life and have like full power discipline all the time. Nobody can do that. Let's be realistic. So my message for you today is really simple. Stop waiting to pay it all back at once sometime in the future when you go on that big holiday. Pay it back every single day through a small, consistent practice that you can offer yourself. Eventually, it even becomes free because you can practice on your own. Start small, give your nervous system a predictable, reliable container so it can really, truly land. And this practice is the most reliable way that you can ever invest your time and energy in because I promise you, 3 to 6 months from now, you will feel it. And just remember, you're allowed to be as disciplined as you are about your work, about rest. It's something that you have to consciously cultivate and put into your calendar if that's what it means. And if you want a simple daily practice that you can use every single day, comment the word reset down below. It's just one word and I will send it to you. I read all these comments myself. If you have any video ideas or things that you want me to talk about, I'm more than happy to make videos for you. And if this video resonated with you, make sure you share it with a friend, share it with a co-worker. And if you want to know which kind of burnout you've been running in the background, I've popped a 2-minute quiz in the description below. It's a really simple quiz that'll tell you what's the program you've been running. It'll give you a perfect archetype. It took me a long time to make it, so I do hope you enjoy it. But as always, thank you so much for watching till the very end.